I wasn't really going to speak on this issue today because I thought Senator Stedman had so beautifully said everything yesterday. I know a little scripture too. In Genesis, it says, we are created B'Tselem Elohim, in God's image. We are all children of God, and we are celebrated and we are created in His image. It may be one image to you, maybe a different image to me, but we are all created in God's image. I believe that the Bible, and I never thought when I ran for office that I was going to be up here talking about Scripture, because I do believe in the separation of church and state. My Messiah hasn't come, and I respect all of you for having the opportunity of enjoying a Messiah, and I accept that. But my Messiah hasn't come yet because it is told in my Bible that the Messiah will come when the world is repaired. And the world isn't repaired yet. We in the Jewish faith continually strive to repair the world. It's called tikkun olam, to repair the world. It is our goal, and we will work very hard to repair the world. You just quoted some, our founding fathers. Our founding fathers, quite frankly, all had slaves. And I'm sure many of them slept with their slaves. I'm not questioning that. I'm not gonna, that's kind of out of my league. I'm gonna go back to Scripture. You know, if we were to talk about we can't change anything, our civil rights law, for heaven's sakes, changed so much. When I was a kid, it was separate but equal. Blacks, Hispanics, people with disabilities. Last week, we talked for 2 hours on the Holocaust resolution. And some of the remarks that you all made were stunning and heartwarming and heart-rendering and heart-wrenching to me. I felt finally, yes, I am accepted. Because during the Holocaust, these people were murdered and slaughtered for one reason. They were, the 6 million at any rate, were Jews. And they were gays. And they were people with disabilities. And we spoke about it for 2 hours last week. What did we say? Did we just remember Yad Vashem? The place that we've memorialized these Jews that have fallen, the people of the Holocaust that have died for just who they were? I would have hoped, and I do hope, as my little idol, Anne Frank, that she believed to the very end that there's goodness in everybody. In her diary, there's goodness in everybody. Does that mean everybody but gay people? I don't think so. I don't think so. Senators, I wish, quite frankly, that someone else could have delivered yesterday's Senate Bill 2. Senate Bill 2? Because we made a conscious decision a number of years ago that I would not bring forward the Holocaust resolution just because I'm Jewish. Senator Bacon chose then. I said, please, I'm handing this off. Because I'm Jewish, why do I have to carry it? I will speak to it, I will embrace it, but let someone who's not Jewish carry it. Let someone who is not Hispanic carry Cesar Chavez's resolution. Someone that's not black carry Martin Luther King's resolution. It's my goal and my hope as I leave this incredible place that we don't always have to carry be our own voice for our own self, that others will lift us up and carry us. That's what my God believes. He believes in lifting people up. He or she, by the way. You know, for 3 years, and I was really kind of surprised, Senator Renfro, that you didn't quote Leviticus this year. Because for 3 years, and this has been up here for 3 years, you did quote Leviticus, and yeah, I remember, all right, whether you had or somebody else, I remember Leviticus being quoted. And I'm just going to do a little history lesson in terms of why I believe that the Bible to me is divinely inspired. And that it's kind of contradicts itself here and there. In Leviticus 25:44, it states that one may possess slaves, both male and female, provided they are from neighboring nations, and they become our property. So does this mean that this applies to Mexicans and Canadians? And I'm going to be facetious in this because I'm just going to bring it down to an understanding of why I can't take everything I read in the Bible as it is written. As I said, I believe it's divinely inspired. In Exodus 21:7, it says, I can sell my daughter into slavery. That's what it says. So what would be a fair price for her today? In Leviticus 15:19-24 states that men are not allowed contact with a woman while she is in her period of menstrual impurity. Well, how does one tell? Most women seem to take offense at being asked. Leviticus 1-3-9 commands us to burn a bull on the altar as a sacrifice, which creates a pleasing odor for the Lord. But what if that odor is not pleasing to the neighbors? Shall we smite them? And I'm going to share a few more only because this is when you have the literal translation of the Bible. And I'm sorry to my very Orthodox friends who may be taking the Bible literally too. Remember, I said I feel that it was divinely inspired. Exodus 35:2 clearly states one who works on the Sabbath should be put to death. Are we morally obligated to kill him ourselves, or should we ask the police to do it? It says that in Leviticus. Leviticus 11:10 says eating shellfish is also an abomination. Is it a lesser abomination than homosexuality, as it states? Are there degrees of abomination?
Senator Foster, you have 1 minute.
Okay, moving fast. Leviticus 21:20 states that one may not approach the altar of God if he or she has a defect in his or her sight. Does one vision have to be 20/20? I think this is good, because you know it does say in Leviticus a response to those who point out that homosexuality is an abomination according to Leviticus 18:22 and cannot be condoned under any circumstances, and that's why I've shared some of these passages with you today. And I'll leave you with this one. I have more. Leviticus 20-14 says, people who sleep with their in-laws should be burned to death. Which side of the family gets to light the match? that's when we take everything literally. I'm here to say in all seriousness, that we can't afford to go backward. We finally passed these laws in the 60s and the 70s when I was old enough to be in high school and married. Married in the 70s. I had 3 children in the 70s.
Senator, time's up.
Okay. I am just saying that, please, if you're sitting on the fence at all on this, be respectful. Be respectful of those that are all made, that are all created, B'Tselem Elohim, in God's image.